Ciao guys, I'm so excited to be here right now in Pentedattilo.
Have you ever visited a ghost town? How about an Italian ghost town with a history of love, blood, and revenge? As part of our visit to the region of Reggio Calabria, Bobby and I couldn't miss the opportunity of visiting the mysterious town of Pentedattilo. In this video, we will show you all the reasons why you should visit this intriguing ghost town and give you some important tips for making the most of your journey here. Pentedattilo is situated in the southern part of the province of Calabria, about 33 kilometers from the city of Reggio di Calabria. It is set on a mountain 250 meters above the sea, providing you with a gorgeous view of the Aspromonte landscape. The name Pentedattilo comes from the Greek pente, meaning 5, and dactylos, meaning fingers. The name was inspired by the rock formation which previously had looked like the 5 fingers of a hand. The village is said to have been originally founded as a commercial town in the Greek and Roman eras, around 640 BC. As with many areas of this part of Italy, dominations by various people would succeed themselves. Byzantines, Saracens, Normans, being eventually transformed into a barony, meaning under the control of baron families. It is in this context that the village of Pentedattilo would experience a great tragedy referred to as the Massacre of the Alberti in 1686. As the story goes, a certain Bernardino was in love with and wished to marry Antoinette Alberti, daughter of the then Lord of Pentedattilo. However, a better prospect came along and the family agreed to give him her hand in marriage instead. Bernardino thus put in motion an elaborate plan to infiltrate the castle and brutally kill almost all the members of Antoinette's family in one night, taking her and a few others as hostages. 3 days later, he married her. Years later, Antoinette would finish her life cloistered away in a monastery, and Bernardino would join the Austrian army where he would die on the battlefield. And a cloud of tragedy would haunt the streets of the village for generations to come. Then, in 1783, a massive earthquake would destroy much of the village, causing many to move away to nearby towns. The village would continue to dwindle over the years that followed until being completely emptied out by the 1960s. It is only in the 1980s that interest in revitalizing Pentedattilo emerged and running water was finally be made available in the town. Here are our tips and ideas for visiting the mysterious town of Pentedattilo. Number 1, meet the artisans. Today, areas of the town have been partly restored by some people, mostly artists, and artisans that have chosen to make this their home. On your visit, you will be able to watch them work and purchase their artifacts of wood and glass, macrame, and other types of items. There is also the House of Bergamot that we would have loved to see, but unfortunately it was not open on that day. Number 2. Admire the restoration work in progress. The town of Pentedattilo is being restored step by step by precious people who have decided to make this their life mission. You may visit the Church of Candelora, the Museum of Peasant Folk Traditions, and one of the guides of the town even let us peek at his current project of collecting photographs of the families that once lived in that village, something that visitors will be able to see one day soon. 3. Enjoy the hospitality. One of the highlights of our day was enjoying a homemade meal of local produce at the one and only restaurant of the village and getting to know our hosts. I really recommend taking this time to connect as it makes the whole experience so much more memorable. It is also possible to come back at supper for a delicious gourmet meal with a breathtaking view. You can also visit at nighttime in August when the town's pathways are completely illuminated. There is also an international short film festival in August and September.
So this morning when we got down to the train station, Merito, which is one of the closest ones to Pentedattilo, there were no buses and no taxis. There's basically about a 10-minute drive between the train station and the town, and you could potentially walk it, but in this smoldering heat, you would probably die on your way here because it's upward and very exposed to the sun. It's 40 degrees here today, so 2-hour walk would have been a bit much for us. So we were kind of stuck this morning. Thankfully, there were some gentlemen that overheard our conversation. One of them offered to bring us up into the mountain, but I think we were a little disappointed at the asking price for a 10-minute drive, but we were stuck, and we were happy that he had the kindness in his heart to offer to take his time to bring us up here. So here we are, ready to explore this beautiful town with a lesson learned and to really verify that there really are transportation means in different places you're going. If you're on a budget and you don't have a car and you're relying on trains and buses, you do want to be extra careful to make sure that you're going to be able to make it to your final destination and back as well.
And you may also climb to the top of the mountain where the castle once lay and admire the breathtaking view of the valley. Which leads me to tip number 5. Climb to the top. We highly recommend this if you can do it. Even in the bleeding sun, we were still so happy that we did this.
So here we are at the top of the mountain, at least the furthest we could get. It wasn't a long hike, but
40 Celsius, it's like walking on the moon. It's dry and dead.
And beautiful at the same time. Look at that flower there, babe. Looks like a sunflower, but without anything but sun. Don't come here without a hat.
And water.
We don't like buying plastic bottles, but we were desperate.
We had such an amazing day, and the warmth and hospitality of the people that have devoted their lives to restoring this beautiful place are a treasure that we will carry with us, and a testament to the new and brighter history that is being written in Pentedattilo today. Domenico and his faithful crew are waiting for you.
Vi giungo a tutti un caloroso saluto da Pentedattilo. Sono qui con 2 persone che vengono da Montreal. Il piacere è tutto nostro quando arrivano persone a Pentedattilo, ospitarli e dargli la possibilità di passare una piacevole giornata qua sopra.
Oh, and the kindness and devotion of this little town's custodians is how we made it back to the train station. Thank you guys for your generosity and kindness. Grazie Domenico for the ride. I do hope this has been helpful for preparing your travels to Italy. Please take a moment to subscribe for more tips to help you plan your meaningful, budget-friendly trip to more of Italy's secret gems and off-the-beaten-path marvels.